Really, you're too kind. See, the humor is that nobody's really applauding at all, so.
Live from the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater in New York City, 7-second delay.
30 years go by, we're dead.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's almost over. Hang on. It's almost over.
We've hypnotized part of the audience.
We have a great hypnotist, two great hypnotists here. They've already started.
And you've hypnotized half the audience to not like me.
You don't know a lot of things, Ken.
Oh, this is just something.
Besides half the audience being hypnotized to dislike me and to laugh at all your jokes, we have a legend, a comedy legend in the house tonight. Pat Cooper is here.
I'm sorry?
Have you had problems with the pat downs at the airports?
Listen, I'd like somebody to pat me down now.
We have a very close personal friend of the Secret Service here tonight, performance artist and NYU professor Kyle McDonald.
People said, "Where are your computers, Kyle?" And you had to say, "I'm not allowed to tell you."
Yeah, I can't talk.
Dear God, that's so cool.
And we have a country singer who you might know as the auteur of God Has Lodged a Tenant in My Uterus, Tammy Faye Starlight.
God has lodged a tenant in my uterus.
Steve
Marino and Barb Gambrill.
Let's bring them out.
Welcome, Steve.
So it's a husband and wife hypnotism team.
That's what we have, yes.
Yep.
How's that working out for you?
Well, I do everything she says, and it works out absolutely fine. She has to be hypnotized.
Do you have the same hypnotism?
Oh, stop
technique?
it! Can we just hypnotize Andy?
No,
you see what a terrible host he is. Yeah, well, Stephen Barb offered you, any number of options.
Go home. No one likes you.
Wait, do you have the same? Are there different styles of hypnotism, and do you share the same style?
We do a lot of the same routines in our shows, but we have a different style.
One of the great honors of our lives, Mr. Pat Cooper.
Where the hell did you get this couch?
And then
I'm on the 8th Avenue subway now. You know, when I went to Vegas, there was only 6 hotels. There was excitement and everything. Now it becomes a museum. It's a nice place to go.
That was the Rat Pack? That was the height of it?
There's no more. There's no more of that kind of thrill. For me, anyway.
And you actually opened for Sinatra
everything is
once,
these
right?
big shows, jumping all over the place and tigers and lions and.
That's not entertainment. Well, that's not real. I miss Sammy Davis and
I won't
Frank.
put it down because it's work for people and that's important. But when a guy gets chewed up by a lion or a tiger, and he goes to the hospital and he says, "When am I going back to work?" They should put him away somewhere.
Yeah.
But it's a new world out there, and I respect the new era. My era was great. It was great, sensational. The Sinatra thing, the Perry Como thing, and those days are gone. But that's okay. Now the youngsters have their thing.
They've got nothing. They've got nothing to offer. I disagree. I've met them. I know them personally.
I took a plane to come here for him to disagree with me.
Okay, the number 2. Guess what the number 2's favorite day of the week is? It's the number 2. Can you guess what his favorite day of the week is? Take a guess.
Tuesday.
No, it's Wednesday. He's a self-hating 2. That's a little joke. They think that's funny.
He had a interesting project called People Staring at Computers that managed to get all of his computer equipment seized by the Secret Service. And he's an artist and
he's
professor.
He's your personal hero.
He is my idol. Please welcome Kyle McDonald.
Okay.
I was taking pictures of myself with my laptop every minute. I took one picture, and then I looked at all these photos, and I noticed I always had a blank expression on my face. Maybe the same as when you're reading a book or writing a letter, but that kind of worried me because I was always talking to people online. I wasn't doing things by myself. I was talking with other people, but I just didn't have any expression on my face. So I wanted to see if this was just me or if everyone was like this, and I had to get some pictures of other people.
Get pictures of other people looking into a camera.
Exactly.
But have them ideally not know that they're being photographed.
Into a computer monitor.
Yeah, because it takes about if you're doing it on yourself, it takes about like 2 hours before you forget about being looked at. It takes a little
Now,
bit.
if I were you, you know what I would do? I
What's that?
would go to an Apple store and
Yeah.
put viruses in all their computers
Oh,
on
that sounds
display.
perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to take pictures without people knowing it. So in your little apartment, you're getting pictures from this Apple store of people, of shoppers,
Yeah.
that were taken without them knowing.
Yeah,
it.
and they all have that same expression I had, which is
Yeah.
like this. We can't see it because we're on the radio, but
Yeah. But who found out about it?
well, it was
you went
Apple.
public.
Yeah, what I did is I made a video kind of explaining what happened and what I was thinking and why I did this.
And was the EFF just interested in your work? Or?
No, I sent them an email. I said, "Hey, the Secret Service stopped by. What should I do?" And they contacted me and said, "Yeah, sorry."
So the Secret Service woke you up one morning.
Yeah, there's kids that sometimes like ring the bells or play with the doorbells, but they never say this is the Secret Service. So.
But I always
figured-
assumed that the Secret Service just deals with the president.
No, see this. I thought so too, but yeah. So I was surprised. But originally, they were really part of the Department of Treasury, and they were focused on like maintaining the currency of the U.S.
They
And-
investigated counterfeiters.
exactly
what they
counterfeiters,
do.
and now they do identity theft and credit card fraud as
That's
well.
what is that what they thought you were doing? Like
think
taking
so.
pictures
Yeah.
to make phony IDs.
Maybe. I never really
Now, what
got the
you did
complete
was
story.
what you did.
Is that really what they thought, or
I
was
don't
it,
know.
or
Well,
was
I've
it
heard-
Apple?
I've
Did
heard-
Apple call them up?
I asked them. I said, how did you guys find out about this? Did Apple just call you up? And they said, well, something like that. What? Really? Can anyone just call you up? And they said, yeah, actually, we're in the front page of the Yellow Pages.
Is your sex life just phenomenal? Like off the charts? She'll do anything.
Well, sometimes when you're in hypnosis, you don't have a memory of what happened.
It's like a dream come true.
So
How did
you
it go?
hypnotized them to heckle me.
Yeah.
Basically, that's.
Hoboken.
This go back to Hoboken. You have strong opinions about the security at the airports, the pat downs at the airport.
Look, we are being held hostage by a so-called terrorist. And how do you beat a terrorist? You say, I'll show you how to be a terrorist. You're not going to make my people get undressed in an airport because we're afraid of you. You got the wrong kind of people because America is full of all different ethnic groups. We'll tear you apart. So you've got 3 days to cut it out, and we're going to take all the people and who got those jobs, we're going to get them another job, and we're going to tell those people, let's see how tough you are, because America right now is sick of this crap. And it's got to stop. That's what it is. But when they say you can't bring water, but you can buy all the water in the airport, that's called up yours.
Yeah, that's called up yours.
Under the show Chelsea Motkin, please welcome Tammy Faye Starlight.
Do I just stand here, or do I get to sit on the couch?
You
No,
can
you just
stand
stand there.
It's so nice of you to come. It means the world to us.
Bless your heart.
Thank you, Tammy Faye.
Thank you.
How's your year been going? What have you been doing this year?
Let's see. It's been a really wonderful year for me because, well, I'm very nervous around Jews. God has lodged a tenant in my uterus. Thank you. And he's asked me to keep it safe and keep it warm. God forbid I should hurt it, kill it, or desert it. My placenta is its shelter from the storm. God has lodged a tenant in my uterus. And honestly is, and that was, it was performed by many stars on the Grand Ole Opry, like Laurie Morgan and
That song?
yeah.
That song on the Grand Ole Opry?
yes, well,
I had no idea.
yes, when it was back, when it was at the Ryman earlier on, it was performed by Miss Kitty Wells, who just passed away. Yes, wasn't she wonderful and dreary? And she was so boring.
Before the show, you said if you had to do it again, you'd do it a little differently.
I would. See, the thing that got confusing is, there was this idea I had about having a blank expression expression, which I thought, it's kind of interesting. It's not really worth all of the attention that.
By the way,
project
was it
got.
true that most people just had a blank expression?
There was one person I found, and they were an Apple Store employee, and I think they're brainwashed anyway, so that doesn't count. But they were smiling. Yeah, and I thought that was an interesting idea, but it's not kind of a good enough idea to get the amount of attention it got. And the more interesting thing that came out of it was the discussion that everyone had about Apple using the Secret Service and surveillance in public spaces and people getting uncomfortable about their photo being taken. That was way more interesting, I thought, than this idea about blank expression.
Our college students got all the government money. The government should pay it for nothing.
I'm with you.
Why should they take money from these college kids who are the future of our country? Now they're in a hole for $150 billion. That's a joke. And we're in Afghanistan knowing, why we're there. I don't know. But we have nothing to do. It's Thursday.
Well, I'm sitting on the sofa, sipping strawberry wine, waiting for a man who is never on time. The pork chops are cold and my panties are dry. I roll me a joint and I try to get high. Well, it's just before daylight when he stumbles in, reeking of cigarettes, perfume and gin. He calls to me, honey, hey, how about a kiss? Then he whips his, and he tries not to spray me, but he says, oops, I missed. And I wonder, did I shave my vagina for this?